Pyrmis Anivia, the never-ending respawn.
Anivia is basically the Freljord's save point. She's an ancient ice phoenix who has been protecting the frozen north since the beginning of time. But her life isn't a hero's journey, it's an infinite loop. In League's lore, Anivia never truly dies. She just turns back into an egg. Think about how annoying it is to get spawn camped in a game. Now, imagine that's your entire existence. Every time she dies, she's stuck as a helpless egg, watching her homeland get trashed by villains like Lysandra. She's seen her brothers, Ornn and Volibear, turn into monsters and destroy everything she built. Her fate is the ultimate carry role that never ends. She can't quit. She can't go AFK. And she can't rest. She's forced to respawn over and over into a world that just keeps getting colder and more broken. 2. ORNN, the ultimate solo laner. ORNN is the boomer of the gods. He just wants to be left alone to work on his projects. He's the legendary blacksmith who built the most iconic spots on the map, like the Howling Abyss. But ORNN's history is dark. He used to have a whole squad of followers called the Hearthblood, who worshipped his craft. His brother, Volibear, tried to force them into a war, and the two gods had a 1 versus 1 that literally leveled the landscape. When the dust settled, every single one of Ornn's followers was dead. Now, his fate is total isolation. He lives inside a volcano because he's traumatized by his own power. He refuses to lead or talk to anyone because he's afraid that anyone who gets close to him will end up as collateral damage. He's a god who's retired in a state of permanent grief, hammering away at weapons he hopes no one ever has to use. 3. Mordekaiser, the CEO of the afterlife. Mordekaiser is what happens when you're too metal for heaven. In his first life, he was a warlord who conquered the world because he thought the gods would reward him with a VIP seat in the afterlife. But when he died, he found nothing. Just gray fog and silence. Most people would fade away, but Mord got so toxic about being lied to that he stayed awake through sheer willpower. He learned the language of the dead and manipulated mages to bring him back in a suit of indestructible iron. His fate is legendary. He's building his own empire in the Death Realm. He's literally using the souls of his enemies as bricks to build his castle. He isn't just a ghost. He's the guy waiting at the end of the line for everyone. He turned the worst-case scenario, dying, into a hostile takeover of the entire universe. 4. Xerath, the god in a cage. Xerath's story is a climb to the top gone horribly wrong. He started as a slave in Shurima, BFFS, with the Emperor Azir, but he wanted that god-tier status so bad that he betrayed Azir during the Ascension ceremony. He stole the power of the sun, but his human body couldn't handle the high ping of that much energy. He literally exploded and turned into a being of pure, glowing blue magic. To stop him, mages locked him inside a magic-resistant sarcophagus. His fate is a massive fail. He has the power of a star, but he's stuck in a metal box. Even though he's partially broken out, those heavy chains still drag behind him. He's a god who can't even feel the ground or touch another person without vaporizing them. He's all power and zero freedom, trapped in a glowing prison of his own ego. 5. Nagakaburos, the final boss of motion. Nagakaburos is the Lovecraftian goddess that Illaoi serves, and she has no chill. She's the mother serpent of the ocean, and her only rule is, keep moving. If you stop, you die. She doesn't care about your rank, your gold, or your feelings. Her history is tied to the test, where she rips your soul out of your body to see if you have the main character energy to survive. Her fate is to be the ultimate judge of the world's flow. For players and characters in the lore, she represents the most terrifying type of power, one that doesn't even notice you exist. To her, the entire world is just a game of survival of the fittest. She's the crushing pressure of the deep sea, a goddess who will delete you from existence the second you start being boring. 6. Aatrox, the world's angriest sword. Aatrox is the definition of suffering from success. He was once a golden hero, basically a superhero of Shurima. But after fighting the Void, he went insane and was trapped inside his own sword as a punishment. For a guy who used to fly through the clouds, being stuck in a piece of metal in total darkness for centuries was a nightmare. Now he can only live by possessing people who pick up the sword, sewing their flesh onto his blade to make a gross, rotting body. His fate is the saddest one in the game. He is in constant 24/7 physical pain. He's immortal, but he hates his life so much that his only goal is to delete the entire universe. He thinks if he kills everything, maybe the universe will finally crash, and he can finally die.